Good evening. Welcome to SUA ICT. Today we have a question at hand, a mathematics question from a colleague of ours, and I want us to take a look at it and see how best we can solve it. Enjoy. And please don't forget to share this video to your colleagues so that they can have a look at it and understand how to solve questions of such nature. And again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and again, don't forget to subscribe as usual. It's very important to us. It helps us build our channel, and also like our videos and share our videos to your colleagues on other social platforms so that they can also enjoy, like I said, the lesson and be able to understand questions of such nature. And if you have any suggestion, put it in the comment section and I'll be glad to attend to them. Thank you. Let's move. Okay, so this is the question that we have. Question number 1. It says that we should copy and complete the table of values below for the relation. So this is our function that we are going to use, and they are saying that our x value should fall within -2 -2 to 4. Means that these are x value here in terms of coming out with our graph. The x value the x value that we're going to operate with should start from -2 to 4. And obviously we've been given the x values here starting from -2 up to 4 here. Now we've been asked to use this relation to come out with the values of our y. Now we should bear in mind that since we are having a square figure here or term here, it means that our graph is not a linear but much of a quadratic one, meaning that our graph is going to be a curve. It's going to be a curve. It's not going to be a straight line. So we should bear in mind about that. And we have our scale here of 2 centimeters to 1 unit that we're going to use to come out with our work on our graph sheet. Then from our graph that we'll be able to come out with our line of curve, we will have to use it to find our values for y. So it means that we are supposed to trace this value of x, which is -1.5 on the graph, and trace it to the x-axis to get our x, and to use this one also to get our x value. That is, we use this value and trace it from the y-axis to get our x values. And again, the positive values of our x, or the positive values, we need to use this one to trace and get that particular positive value, obviously on our on our y value. So without wasting my time, let's begin. Okay, so we have our work here, working space here. We have our working space here. So our function was y is equal to x squared minus x minus 3. So let's look at how we can simplify this particular kind of work. So if we were to have our table drawn like this, we have our x values to be -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We should bear in mind that what we are doing is to use the values of x and that's of this particular equation, this function, this equation. So we are going to put wherever we see x squared, we're going to put the values of x there to get a value, and that's of this and that's of that, and at the end of the day it will help us to get our y. Okay, so let's move on. So you are supposed to come up with a table in this form. Sorry for my alignment, my work doesn't look that straight. Okay, so do something like this, that, like this. So these are the values of x, with which we have them here. The values of x, we have them here. So we are going to pick a different color, so that the first one is to put this particular equation in our work. So we start with our x squared. So with the x squared, it means that if our x is equal to -2, and now our x here is what? Squared. And x squared means what? X times x. So in the case where we have -2, we're going to get -2 by -2. And therefore, -2 by -2 is going to give us +4, because we have two negative signs here, negative and negative sign here. So when they multiply, we're going to get a positive what? Value. So for the -2 here, we will have 4 here. And our -1 here, we are going to get -1 by -1. So it's going to be +1. So you're going to get 1 here. Now put in zeros in it here. In the x squared, we're going to get 0. When we put 1 there, 1 squared, we're going to get 1. We put 2 in the square, so x squared, and we put 2 there. 2 is the power 2 means 2 times 2. So obviously, we are going to get what? 4. Now x squared again, you put what? 3 there. That is wherever x is equal to what? 3. So it means that our x squared is going to be 3 by 3. Okay, you're going to get 9. So you have our 9 here. So when our x is equal to what? 4, we are going to get x squared giving us 4 squared, which is 4 by 4, giving us 16. So we have our 16 here. Then from there we have, let me cut this one off. Cut this one off. Good. We are good to go. So the next is to pick the x here. So our x, we put our x here. So let's look at it. Wherever we see x, we put the values of x there. So technically, we are going to put the same thing, because the x here is the same as the x here, right? The x here is the same as the x here. So it's going to be -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then the next one that we are going to look at is the 3. So you're going to pick this 3 and put it here. So the 3 is running through it. The 3 is a constant value which will run through. Now we come to our y. Our y here. So now our y is saying that the relation is that y is equal to x squared minus x minus 3. Y squared is equal to y is equal to x squared minus x minus 3. Okay, so our function here says y equals x squared minus x minus 3. So it means that the values of x squared here, we are going to subtract the values of x here from the values of x squared here. And again, we are going to subtract 32 from that particular value. Then what we get will be for our y. So a typical example, when we pick this particular level, when we pick this side, so we are going to deal with this one, these values here. because when you look at the function, these are the values. These function here help us to get our value. So we'll be looking at the values that we used in this particular fashion. So it's cut across only this particular region that we'll be looking at, this particular region, and it's going to help us to get our y value. So let's start from the first one, this one. Let's start from this side. When our x was -2 and we replace them in the value in the function of y, what did we get for y? So let's look at it. From our -2 region, which is this side, the x squared was 4, which is here. This one, our x squared was 4, this one, which is here. Our x, so we put our minus sign there. Our x was -2, -2. They will put our minus sign there again, and our 3, put our 3 there. So at the end of the day, we are going to get 4. Negative times negative will give us what? Positive. Positive 2 minus 3. And this will give us 6 minus 3. Then our y is going to be what? 3. So at the end of the day, when x is -2, y is a positive what? 3. When x is -2, y is positive 3. Let's go to the next one. That is the -1 here. So we'll be having y equals, the first one here is what? 1. They will bring our minus sign again. This is our minus sign. We put it there. Then our x is what? -1. So we'll put this -1 inside the bracket. They will bring our minus sign there again. Then we'll put what? 3 there. So at the end of the day, y is going to give us, from the next step, will be 1. Negative, negative becomes a positive. Then we have our 1. Then you have -3. So we're going to get 1 plus 1 giving us what? 2. So if 1 plus 1 is giving us 2, we are subtracting 3. At the end of the day, our y is going to give us -1. So we have -1. So we're moving on. So you come to the next one. So this is -1. You come to the next one. Y x squared minus x minus 3. From the 0 region, this region, 0 region, you will get 0 minus 0 minus 3. So it is going to be, it's going to be -3. It's going to be -3. So our y is going to be -3. Move on to the next one. Now y is -2, -x, -3. That is at the 1, when x is equal to 1. When x is equal to 1, our x squared was 1 minus 1 minus 3. So you're going to get 1 minus 4. You're going to get -3 again. The next one, y is equal to x squared minus x minus 3. And we'll be getting our y values to be, when x is 2, so our y values will be getting 4. They'll bring our minus sign. Then we bring so this side is going to be -3 here. So 4, then we'll get our, here we'll get 4, then -2, then -3. Then our answer is going to be 4 minus 5, which is going to give us -1. Then we'll go to the next one. That is when x is 3. So y is equal to x squared minus x minus 3. So with when x is equal to 3, our x squared was 9 minus 3 minus 3. So you're going to get 9 minus 6, which is +3. So here is a positive This is a positive 3. This is a negative 1. Sorry, forgot to write that. They go to the final one when x is what? 4. So our y is equal to x squared minus x minus 3. So it's going to be when our x squared in that region where x is going to 4, we're going to get 16 minus 4 minus 3. So we're getting 16 minus 7. Then 16 minus 7. 16 minus 7 is going to give us 9. So put our 9 here. So finally, our x values our x values so our x values here, which is and our y values. So x, which was -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Our y values were 3, -1, -3, -3, -1, 3, and what? 9. So we need these two values for our x and y to be able to come out with our graph. Because when we look at the question, it says that we should first copy and complete, and we have copied and completed it, and that is what we have here. We have copied and completed it. That is what we are seeing at this side. And so let's move to the next one. So this is A. We have solved for A. Let's move to B. B says that we should use a scale of 2 centimeters to 1 unit on both axes and draw the graph of the relation. So let's look at the graph. My work is going to be a sketchy form, so please bear with me on that. This position. So this is our graph here. We have our x axis, then we have our y axis. We have our origin here. So our x says that we should start from -2 to -1, but of course you can extend it by a unit, or it's 2 centimeters. So you're starting from -1 as usual, -2, -3, and on -4. Then here could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our scale 2 centimeters to 1 unit. So with the x-axis too, we have 1, 2, 3. Let me clear it. Let me do it all. So our x-axis, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then here is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and -7. Can end on this one. So let's start the first one. X is -2. X is -2, and our y is +3. So if our y is +3 and our y is +3, our x is -2, this is what we have here. We have it here like this. So we have -2 and 3. The next one, our x is -1 and our y2 is -1. So we are hitting somewhere in this region. the third quadrant. So you have -1, -1. Then the next one is 0 and -3. So we are hitting this particular level. So 0 and -3. The next one is 1 and -3. So we are hitting somewhere here where our x is 1, our y is -3. Then the next one is 2, -1. So from this direction and this direction, we are getting our 2 first, 2 and -1. We should bear in mind that this coordinate that we're writing has a format x and y. So always the x value comes first before the y. So for the first one, this one, you could see that our x here is -2 and our y is 3. So take note and work accordingly. So the next one says 3 and +3. So our x is 3. We project our x3 here and our y2 is 3. So we have our intersection here. So we have 3 and 3. The next one is 4 and 9. Our x is 4 and our y is 9. So you use short dashes to determine where the 2 points are going to meet on the graph. It's 4 and 9. Then from there, you draw nicely. Draw your curve nicely to pass through. Nice and gentle to pass through. Nice and gentle to pass through. Good. So this is our graph. I think this will be B. Okay, this one will be B. We'll clean these things from here. So my probably use that side. Now the next one says that the C says good. So the next question says that you are supposed to find the positive values of y when x is and -1.5, and also when obviously we're supposed to find our x when y is 1.8. So when our x when our x equals -1.5, this is what is going to happen. We have our function to be y is equal to x squared minus 3, sorry, minus x minus 3. So when our x is equal to 1.5, it means wherever we see x, we put 1.5 there. So y is going to be -1.5 squared minus -1.5 minus 3. So our y is going to be 2.25 plus 1.5 minus 3. So our y is going to be let's see, 2.25 plus 1.5 plus minus 3. So you're going to, let me add this one first. So let's add these two first. So we're going to get 7.3, about 3.75. Then we're going to subtract 3 from it. So you're going to get 0.75. So when you trace it on the x, sorry, on the graph, you're going to get when our y is 0.75, we're going to get our x to be -1.5. So when you trace it, my graph is actually not drawn to scale. I'm just using a freehand sketch. We don't have any demarcations like that of the graph book that you'll be using, so that you can easily just trace like that. I've been doing some traces here. But I'm sure when you are doing it on your graph, it's going to pick, and it's going to work for you. Okay, so let me extend a little bit extend a little bit. Okay, going down. So that is it. Then let's look to find our x that we don't know when our y is 1.8. So let's say when we go to the graph, we can okay. So we are looking for the other one, which is this question. It says that um, this one when y is 1.8, obviously we're supposed to find our x, as I said earlier. So tracing from the graph, we'll realize that our 1.8 is somewhere at this region, somewhere here, this particular region, somewhere here. So tracing it to to the the line and projecting it to the x-axis, we get some values here, and likewise tracing this side to the line and projecting it down here too, we will get some values here. And since we are looking at positive values, obviously here is going to give us the answer, that is the positive value. So that is going to be 2 point something, maybe 2.7 or 2.8 there, which is where we can find the answer, maybe 2.7 or maybe 2.8 there, that we can get the value. So that is how it works for this particular question. If you have any comment or suggestion, please don't forget to leave it in the comment section, and I will be glad to assist you in any form. Thank you so much. I will leave a link in the description section where you can have access to this particular file for yourself and go through, see how I work things out. Thank you for your time, and please don't forget to subscribe and like and share. It's very important to us.